This is Ronan. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to review the game called Radio Commander. The game was released on PC in 2019 by Serious Sim and Console Labs. This game offers a unique take on real-time strategy. So I played it on PC, as you probably have noticed, but it is also available on Mac, iOS, Switch, and PlayStation. I'm not sure how you would play that on the PlayStation, to be honest, but hey. So today, because it's a review, I'm covering some things that I thought about this game. So first impressions, then game mechanics, realism, story, and or immersion, performance, what I think at the end about the game, and who do I think this game is for. So let's dive in. First impressions. When I first found out about this game on Steam and I saw some videos of it, I was super excited. So it's something I've never tried before, and it's an idea that I got really, as I said, excited about. Personally speaking, when I play Milsim games, I don't like maps that offer you pretty much everything. Okay, so your friendly troops, you have your even enemy troops sometimes. So games like Squad, even though it's a great game, I don't like seeing my friendly forces around me on a map. Like I like to rely on communication to see where everyone are at. So this is pretty good. So it got me kind of excited, and I feel it was like a different take and a fresh take on strategy games. Game mechanics. You take control of Papa Bear, a commander with a velvety voice who sits and chain smoking and leading his troops over a radio. You only have your map, your radio, because you're a radio commander, and a bunch of tokens of troops that you manually have to move across the map of your AO. So the game forces you to rely on communication. You don't have a god's eye view, or your intel only comes from your subordinate leaders on the ground, and you have to request updates on their position, coordinates, troop status, engagements, and you have to make decisions accordingly. This isn't a grand strategy game, meaning that you don't have a kind of a view of a whole map of the whole country. No, the AOs are pretty small. They are fairly secluded. Secluded? Yeah, let's call it that way. You have a few platoons of 30 to 40 people and assets that are supporting them in in their mission. At first, the game provides a lot of assistance for map reading and your situational awareness, grid readouts, and you always can see where you're pointing on the map, which grid you are at, kind of thing. But you can crank up the realism pretty heavily, turning off most HUD updates, enabling radio breakdowns, realistic comma counts, removing coordinate pings. All of this you could do. So if you want to experience a full hardcore mode, I highly recommend that. It is quite fun. Realism. How real is it? That's a bit hard to say, to be honest. I've never been in this situation myself. I've never sat in a tent smoking and commanding my troops through a radio, to be honest with you. But considering that it gives you a realistic view of what Fog of War is all about, it gives you some idea of it. I'd say it's pretty realistic, all things considered. You have to ask for updates and react based solely on the information you receive. Okay, in that sense, the game does a really good job, because it does keep you quite tense, and this simulation of Battlefield Command is quite well done, I think. However, the realism starts to break down when the game designers force you into specific routes or sequences of events. One of the biggest examples I have, unfortunately, was Mission 7. I didn't follow the instructions exactly, and the mission broke. I had to restart the whole mission. It really took me out of the whole immersion, and I had to kind of tiptoe for the rest of the game, following everything to a fault, because I didn't want to break the game again and restart. It did damage my overall enjoyment, to be honest. That said, though, when everything is working, this game really pulls you in. There's a real sense of satisfaction when you are in a tight spot and you order your Foxtrot artillery to save your troops, and they do it, and then your troops call you and say that the enemy is destroyed. It's a good feeling. Or when you fly with your reconnaissance aircraft and you see some OP4 troops lying in waiting and waiting to ambush you, and you just drop a bomb on them and it's done. So it is a good game that does pull you in those moments. I think it does give you a lot of freedom, and it does make it feel a bit more authentic and realistic. But at the same time, you can't do everything you want, so it is really hard to see where the line is, because you don't want to cross that line and then break the game, but also you want a bit more freedom away from the scripted decision making. But I guess it's inevitable for games like this. Story and immersion. The story is fun. I mean, it's a story. It's not a realistic story, but the characters are well written, and considering the format of the game, I think it's the best you could do, from my personal opinion. They have believable arcs, at least some of them, and there were even moments where I got a little bit emotionally invested because of certain decisions that some characters made. The troop management DLC is a must. It really, well, actually, you see it in front of you. It gives you background on what your troops are, what experiences they had, what families they have, who they have waiting for them at home. So it really gives you a little bit more information about your troops that under your command, and you don't want to lose them. So every time I heard that I have a soldier wounded or KA, it was a little bit was, oh no, who was it? So, and then you have to look and see who it was. The voice acting is decent, though I thought it was a bit rushed at times. There was a line in one of the video sequences that was misread, and it kind of changed the meaning of the whole sentence. The game designers clearly wanted the player to feel like they were in 1960s, so they included more of the era, like hippies, the Black Panthers, and the cultural attitudes of the time. It was a bit forced, I thought it sometimes, but a game is a game, so they needed to tell a story. Because of the characters and how distinct they were, I really enjoyed it. The storytelling was quite good. Performance. This is where I have to be a little harsh, though I no one. I'm a nobody with a tiny YouTube channel, but it's my opinion, so here you go. The bugs in the game were noticeable, and to be honest, at times frustrating. I already mentioned mission number 7 bug, and also I had some issues with medivacs. So unless your APCs or the helicopters are in exactly the same grid, you can't order a medivac. They say they can't follow that command, and even when they were in the same grid, for some reason I couldn't do it. Maybe it was something I didn't do right, or there's a sequence of orders I have to follow, but it should be a little bit more intuitive than this, okay? I also have to mention that again, mission 8 and 9 felt really easy. I didn't feel challenged at all. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but I almost felt like it was an afterthought, and it's a little disappointing. On the other hand, though, missions 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mission 1, of course, was interesting, but it's more of an introduction. So mission 3, 4, 5, and 6 were super solid, challenging, fun, and really made me think. So having the last 2 missions was a bit disappointing the way they were made. Okay, I'm not sure what happened during the development, but the difficulty drop made it feel like a little bit anticlimactic, I would say. The verdict. Overall, I like the game and love the concept. It's something I've never played before, so it's not really a milsim game. It's more of a puzzle game with military elements, which is a great thing. It's solid. For me, it's a solid 5 out of 10. It's got a unique idea, but there is a lot of room for improvement. And again, who am I to judge a game? I'm not a game developer or anything like that, but 5 out of 10 is super solid for me. Okay, I really, again, I got really excited about the game, and I'm excited to see what developers will bring in the future, because this kind of innovation is quite rare, I think. Who is it for? One of the best things about this game is that of the format, actually, you don't need a lot of time to play this. If you have like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours a week even, you can play this game and still enjoy it. So those missions are self kind of reliant. You can just start and stop, and you can also save it if you want and come back to it. So it's a pretty easy game to play if you don't have much time. So I'd say it's for people who don't have much time on their hands, but those who like playing strategy games and want to try something new. Would I buy this game knowing what I know now? Yeah, absolutely. It's a great game. It's a great idea, and trying new tactics and challenging yourself with a little bit more difficulty would be a good thing. So yeah, I absolutely would buy this game. Would I recommend it? Yeah, definitely. If you want to try this kind of game, please do. It's a good game, and I really did enjoy myself while playing it. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this review was a little bit useful for you if you are thinking about this game, whether should you buy it or not. And if you want to see other reviews like this, please do let me know in the comments. And also if you want to know any other kind of ideas, impressions I had about this game, do feel free to ask. I'll be very happy to answer in the comments. Thank you very much. Ronin out.